feel like right now is not the right time for me. We've had some differences in values, and I haven't had enough time to really understand how those differences will affect our life day to day.
Am I surprised about Sabrina and Steven? No. Because you always have that one couple, doesn't matter what season, whereby they are smooth sailing through the pods. They're never shown in a love triangle. They're the first couple to propose, and they are the ones that stay married. This has happened. This seems to be a common theme. You can actually count through the years and you'll see it. You have got Tiffany and Brett. You've got Lauren and Cameron. You've got, what's her name? Alex and Brennan. They've all were the first couples revealed. And so you always have that couple that's going to say yes. So I'm not surprised they said yes. And I am devastated. I'm devastated. I don't even know where to start when it comes to Tom. Oh my God, my blood is boiling because his excuse for not saying yes does not make sense. And the audacity to promise Maria's mother something and then he turns around and says, no, actually, I want to raise a strong, independent daughter. Oh my God. Ooh, I digress. Hey there, thanks for stopping by. It's Valerie. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe, click the like button, turn on the notification bell for when I upload new videos, and definitely leave a comment. In this episode, I'll be reviewing Love is Blind UK Season 1, Episode 10. So am I the only one who was confused? I don't even know why we even needed the Bachelor and Bachelorette party session, because it wasn't even 10 minutes. That we saw of it. And there really was nothing stand out. It seemed they didn't have strippers. Yes, the girls had some sort of guys performing, some sort of trapeze or something like that. I didn't get it. The guys, they went on that tandem bike whereby they have someone serving alcohol. I think I've seen it somewhere advertised in Atlanta or something. So I didn't know that they had that in the UK. It was nice to see them ride around. You know, I feel some type of way. I know I've seen some spoilers, so I might already feel some type of way about some of the cast, but hey, it is what it is. You then have everyone pack up to go to their own places. That way they can meet on their wedding day. What do I think? I don't get it. I really don't get it, because someone like Tom, I know I've seen his decision online. I was busy. I didn't get a chance to review. I shouldn't have looked because now he's put me off himself. Yeah, he's having a conversation with Maria. I liked them as a couple. I think they were very compatible. I think maybe I don't know. I really don't know, because the conversations they had were realistic conversations to set sort of realistic expectations in a relationship. And so I don't know. Anyway, I digress. You have Ollie and Demi sort of talking about the fact that they're going to be apart. So Demi will need to have, FaceTime calls with him just because she will miss him. She's been with him since the very beginning, and, so she's worried that she might miss him and she might not be able to function fully. And it's like, oh, okay, it is what it is. You have Steven and Sabrina. I said this at the start when they were the first revealed, that couples that are normally just revealed, they are the ones that tend to do well. So I wouldn't be surprised if they were the successful couple from this season. They seem to be in a very good place. They seem to be very happy. Yes, they know that they're going to be apart until, wedding day. So they are concerned about that. And for me, it's like, I'm sort of lost in the wind. Hopefully I'll pick up once we get to the weddings. But at the moment, I'm a bit lost. Sabrina and Steven are the first couple to get married. Am I surprised? No. And I think I've seen sort of a theme in Love is Blind, in the sense that it doesn't matter which country it is, but the couple that is the first reveal, the couple that doesn't have a love triangle, will definitely say yes on wedding day. They always have that couple that they keep spotless, that they keep away from all the drama, and that's their sort of poster couple for the season. So Steven and Sabrina, I had reservations, and I still have a bit of reservations, because I know people say, oh, she agreed to adoption, but the thing is, she said it might be too late for her to have children, so they might have to go to adoption or IVF, I think she said, or surrogacy. And for me, I think this is something that should have been buttoned down before they walked down the aisle. I think it should have been buttoned down before they even accepted the proposal in the first place. They have been smooth sailing. There's been no drama between them and anybody else. They've minded their own business. Their family seemed very supportive. His mom and dad were very happy for him. Her mom and sister were happy for her. And so there was the issue of whether they would live in London or whether they would live in Belfast, but they had agreed on that they could sort of commute between the two. And Stephen said they could spend a couple of years in London before deciding whether to go to Belfast. So that to me seems buttoned down. But the main issue is the issue about Stephen saying he wants a biological child. And so because I didn't quite hear the plan, I know she spoke about IVF. I know I'm repeating myself. I know she spoke about adoption. But I would have loved that to have been buttoned down, because I think that will be an issue as time progresses. Unless she changes her mind later, since she said she wasn't initially open to the idea of getting married, and yet now she is, she's marrying this guy. And so maybe she will change her mind in regards to children, and she might surprise him one day and just wake up and say, oh yes, I want a biological child. I think Love is Blind was amazing, UK, in the sense that they cast an older cast, in the sense that most of them are late 20s, majority are in their 30s, which are people at a stage whereby they want to settle down. I loved both there. I loved Stephen's suit. That was cute. I loved Sabrina's dress. Or when they were trying their wedding gowns, I didn't quite understand it. But now that it's been made to fit her, she looked amazing with the little veil. They walked down the aisle. She was walked down by her brother. Am I surprised they said yes? If I'm looking at the bigger picture, no. If I'm looking at the bigger picture, no. Because they were aligned on a lot of things. The only issue they had was children, which I think Stephen is content with her sort of explanation or her reassurance at this point. And this is why he was quick to say yes when he was asked, is Love Blind? Will you marry this woman? And he said yes. She said yes. Their parents were ecstatic. I like the little winks that, Stephen's mom gave Sabrina's mom, which I think they must have known that they were going to say yes. I think they must have known. There's no way they were not going to say yes, because they've been smooth sailing. So I would have been very surprised if they had said no. I loved their little celebration. One thing English people are going to do is they're going to hold their wedding in an amazing venue. The food might be questionable, but the venue will be amazing. And so I love the sort of castle or sort of old whatever region place that they got married in. I thought it was amazing. I thought the Justice of the Peace or whoever got them married did an amazing job. After watching Married at First Sight, New Zealand, this was way better. Anyway, I digress. Next to get married is Tom and Maria. I loved Tom and Maria. They were my favorite couple throughout the experiment, and I really was having high hopes for them. I sort of saw on Twitter that maybe they didn't get married. I've had to pause just because I'm too emotional. Maria really went into this wholeheartedly. This is something she wants. She wants a family. She wants a husband. And she's set out her expectations of a partner in a relationship. Tom has set out his expectations of a partner in a relationship. The problem is they come from two different worlds. Maria comes from a world where the husband is the provider and the wife is the nurturer, whereas Tom wants someone who'll go 50-50 with him because he wants to maintain this lifestyle. And I agree with Maria that she can't be paying his mortgage, because at the end of the day, if they do get divorced, he keeps his house and she walks away with nothing, unless they have it contractually written down in a prenup to say that if they get divorced, she gets back all her money she's been paying him towards his mortgage. Then I don't think, it's fair for him to expect that. They looked cute. I love the fact that, you had Maria's mum have a conversation with Tom and sort of ask him to look after her daughter. Because at the end of the day, this is every parent's wish for their child when they get married. He was very respectful. He was very caring and sort of empathetic towards her and her needs. And he followed and he obeyed the instruction when she asked him to sort of put his hand on his heart. And I hope the Twitter thing is not true that he said no, because I'll be very devastated, not only for Maria but her mother, because her mother has sort of told him that from the moment you say I do, you're now my child. I don't know what else he needs, because his own mother is not even present because she doesn't like the idea of the experiment. I don't think it's anything to do with the experiment. I think it's the idea that her son is marrying someone who is Muslim and someone who's Moroccan. So just imagine that for the mother. Her son is marrying an African Muslim, more or less. That's it. And I don't think she can process this. Because we remember in the pods, he said that, Tash would sort of fit in very well with his family and his lifestyle. So which makes me question, why is the mother not there? Is it because she doesn't like the experiment? Or is it because she doesn't like the person that she thinks her son is getting married to? I don't know. I'll leave that aside for now because I do not know the mother. And then you have Maria. She has a sister and her friend is a bridesmaid. She has a brother to walk her down the aisle. Her mom is there to support her. And it was very emotional moment. It was a very emotional moment and very heartfelt. So this I loved. It was very sentimental, and you can feel the spirit that they're all missing her dad because they keep bringing him up. And as someone who lost a dad, I understand. And so I really love how they honored him. I really love how the family is very united in everything that they're doing and very supportive of Maria, irregardless of whether they agree with her decision to marry this man through the experiment or not. That I love. I loved Maria's dress. I thought she looked stunning. I thought she looked amazing. The fact that she didn't put on a veil like everybody else, it still looked stunning. She was very beautiful. So you have, Tom be walked down to the altar by his sister. Something is off with Tom and his family. There is no emotional attachment there. It's as though he's hired extra people to come and pretend to be his family, because I don't quite get it. I really don't. I want to pretend that I do, but I don't quite get it. When she went to give him a hug, it was very detached. There was no emotion there. It's totally different to when you have Maria hugging her family members. So I don't know whether these people are her family or they're family that he doesn't associate with and only called upon them because he needed people to stand beside him when his mother refused to attend. So you have Maria. She's walked down the altar by her brother. She said she was always planning on being walked down to the altar by her brother irregardless of what was happening. Even if her dad was still around, she thanked him for doing this for her. I somehow feel like I want to be optimistic and think this is not true, but I have a feeling that Tom told Maria he was going to say no at the altar. I think Tom told Maria about his reasons for wanting to say no at the altar. So I think she knew, because her vows were sort of thanking him for everything that he sort of helped her accomplish on their way to getting to this day. He acknowledged, her strengths and, these feelings towards her. They both kept saying I love you, and it's like, if you're saying I love you, what are you saying I love you to? What are you saying I love you to? Because after they said their vows, Tom was then asked, is love truly blind? Which is the question that they normally ask. And if someone believes it is, then they say yes. If they don't think it is, then they say no. And so I don't think her mother knew Tom was going to say no, because she was so devastated. You could see the look on her face that she was heartbroken for her daughter, that this was going to be her fate, that this man was saying no. And so I'm really devastated. And the excuse that Tom gave does not make sense to me. His excuse doesn't make sense, because he said, I want to raise my children to be strong and independent. Who told you that Maria is not strong and independent? Who told you that, Sherlock Holmes? Just because she wants her husband to be the provider for the family doesn't mean that, she's not independent, she's not strong, she's not independent. At the end of the day, if you want your wife to help you, sustain this lifestyle, are you going to help your wife raise the children? Make it make sense? You can't expect her to look after the children and look after you and the household and provide financially. What are you doing? What is your role in that family? Make it make sense? I don't get it. And I think this is what he doesn't understand. Sadly for Tom, I'm going to repeat my statement that I always say, that love found Tom, and Tom wasn't ready to receive it. He was going to receive an amazing relationship from Maria, and he was going to receive an amazing family from, by being absorbed into Maria's family. So I don't get why he chose to do this. This is very sad and very heartbreaking. I don't get it. Next up to get married is Demi and Ollie, and I don't know how to feel about them because they've had me on the edge since they sort of met at the reveal, and the way Ollie behaved during the couples retreat just left me sort of wondering, does he really like this girl or is he just going through the motions? And I don't get why Aaron has been carried along as a background actor for the he's in this love triangle, more or less. He's in this love triangle. And I don't get, did he not have a connection with somebody else of his own? Why is he there? He was there at the, suit shopping for the grooms or for Ollie, and now he's there on his wedding day. Make it make sense? That doesn't make sense to me. And you also had Ollie's dad, who was behaving a bit strangely, as though he knew his son was going to say no, or as though he couldn't believe that his son was going through this process, and this was the first time he was finding out. Something was off. Obviously, they took a shot of Ram because, Ollie was saying, let's do this. It's tradition for you to do it. And the dad didn't appear to know the tradition. I don't know why we didn't get to see his mom, although we saw his mom once, his dad sat down. Well, I assume that's his mom, the lady the dad was sat next to. With Demi, she looked amazing. She was very emotional. But then she revealed that when they separated, to go to their separate homes, Ollie never contacted her, and it's like, why? Why would you do that? If you really love someone and you really care for them and you really want this to work, this is the time you should be checking in. How are you? What's going on? What do you feel? Where do we stand? Do you think you're going to say yes? Do you see us saying yes? Do you think we're an ideal match? Instead of that, apparently it's been MIA, and it's like, so was it out of sight, out of mind? What was it? I don't quite get it. And it makes me very anxious for Demi because she's really wanted this thing to work. And sadly, she chose the wrong guy, in my opinion. I think she should have gone either with Aaron or she should have gone with Freddie. Those two guys would have been better for her because this man, I don't think is ready to get married. Her parents came in. She's sort of placed her parents' marriage on a pedestal, and I think this is what she's trying to, or what she's aiming for in a marriage, which is really sad because every marriage is different. I like the fact that her mom gave her some very sound advice to say, you have to be willing to put in the work, and the marriage is between the two people in the relationship. So I don't know, they got to the altar, their vows, I really don't know. Do I think they're going to say yes? I don't think so. I really don't think so, because I think there's something that has been hidden in this marriage, or that they haven't sort of wanted to discuss, whether it's the fact that they both didn't like each other on sight, or whether it's because they are not each other's type. Something is off. Something is off with the two of them, and I can't really put my finger on it. They both look amazing. They look amazing as a couple, but something is definitely off, and I wish we'd heard enough to know exactly what the off thing is. But anyway, I digress. Thanks guys for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe, and click the link in my video to watch my review from episode 9. Bye guys.